Lalit Nambiar, Senior Vice President and Fund Manager Equities and Head of Research with UTI Mutual Fund joins us. Lalit, good afternoon and thank you for joining us. Characterize the market environment for us in terms of valuations and in terms of level, because everyone is of the view that the big turning point for Indian markets will only come after 16th May.
Yeah, so I think the move you've seen in the last few months also has been driven by FII flow, and they need not always be that it's local factors. So it was simply possibly a lot of the global investors looking at emerging markets and looking at getting out of some of them and getting into some where they felt there was a greater margin of safety. So India was possibly one among them. And from a valuation perspective, valuations, if you actually look at earnings, it is getting a little steep. So I guess everything is around the PE. There has been a multiple expansion on expectation of what a new stable government could bring in, especially a particular type of government. And that is what has driven valuations up. Now we are getting closer to the election day, D-Day, and people are getting a little nervous. So perhaps people who've already made some money are taking the money off the table, aligning themselves closer to benchmarks, because the history of the markets have been that we haven't got the election results right most of the time. And even when the results have come out, after the results have come out, the markets sort of projection of what the particular government would do has also not been very much on the ball. So to that extent, people are getting a little, I think, edgy and probably getting closer to indices, to the benchmark.
So are you a seller in this market? Because what you clearly have outlined are concerns and factors which one should, which will inject volatility.
Yeah, so if you look at other markets, I mean, as an indicator of what's actually happening, if you look at, let's say, the VIX, the volatility, if you look at the currency, you look at the 10-year yield, it's not exactly as comforting as the equity markets were some time ago. I mean, if you leave aside the last few days. So it's not that these signs are not visible elsewhere. So from our own perspective, we've basically done a bottom-up kind of portfolio construction, and we believe that our portfolios at least should weather even a not so great result. And to that extent, I would align with some of the other speakers who came in earlier who were talking about IT. We would still continue to believe that the longer term trend and trajectory in the rupee over the next 2 years would necessarily not be appreciation. And to that extent, there is some tailwind, even if it's at an ebb right now in IT in terms of currency movement. So we are looking at a couple of years down the line, and we think structurally we are still looking at a weakening CAD. So overall, our portfolios are not so aggressively positioned as maybe some others.
Lalit, what is the sense that you're getting about the sectoral shift that one had seen of late, wherein there was a pure tilt towards, cyclicals, the likes of metals, even high beta like realty, some of the PSU banks, and a clear, money flowing out, profit taking, I should say, from IT and defense, pharma, the pure defensives, that is. And that again seems to be getting somewhat juggled. What is your own stance versus the debate between cyclicals and defensives?
So I guess you had a couple of trends, like I mentioned earlier, which were happening. One was the trend of people, FIIs moving out money from maybe markets like Russia, China, etc., where things were getting a little uncomfortable. Russia because of the Crimea, Ukraine factor, and China because of possible slowdown fears. And that money had to move somewhere else in the emerging market space, and that some of it came to India. Then you had the expectation of possibility of a positive election result. That also, helped the movement of money. Now, if you see that other sectors which were already bid up, like FMCG, IT, pharma, the choice available to the investor was to look at more liquid stocks in cyclicals and places where the beta was higher, on the expectation that, the government formation would probably be a stable one. That's what we saw. But even at that time, it was, reasonably expected that some of these people would book profits as you get closer and closer to the election result day. And that's more or less playing out as we see it.
Lalit, what is your own sense of the rupee weakness which seems to be, springing up again? Does it seem like we could stabilize around 60-50, 60-60 odd levels, or could we see further weakness?
I mean, we are not experts on the currency, but our view is that on a 2-year basis, the rupee should weaken, given our current account deficit and the fact that we have artificially suppressed gold demand. And that's where we positioned our portfolios. Now, what could probably happen in the next few days is you'll probably see a lot of volatility relating to the election result, relating to what's happening all over the world in terms of Russian sanctions, if they happen, if these are serious sanctions. And that will keep it volatile. But if you look at all other indicators in other markets, you look at 10-year yield, you look at in National Stock Exchange VIX, it is showing you an undercurrent of nervousness. And that's what I was talking about even earlier.
So, Lalit, do you think bulk of the mean revision has already happened and beaten down names, cyclicals or industrials, and easy money has been made? For those who are planning to participate now, they really could be buying really the last 10-15%?
No, I think that, a lot of it was an expectation. It wasn't that people had significantly changed their portfolios. These were people who had already held these names through all the pain. It was not that anybody had made fresh allocations to them in the run-up to the movement in prices. And now they probably want to, move into a slightly more defensive posture, from very high beta positions to maybe slightly lower down the spectrum, because there is uncertainty on the election result. Let's put it across frankly. So to that extent, nobody wants to be extremely high beta, and that is something which we can see. And all of this was multiple expansion in the sense that there was nothing really happening on the business front for any of these companies. It's not that their order books were filling up, there was revenue visibility was rising, margins were picking up, or any volume indicators were showing up, or there was a policy change in any of these companies. It is just expectation around them, and that was what was expanding PE. That is something which can't hold for too long unless you start getting support from earnings and from actual business conditions. Right. That has not yet happened. So sentiment can take you to some extent, and after that you'll have to